All right, hello, good morning, everybody. I've been talking about this deck for two sets now, and we're actually finally getting to it for the stream. Um, Ever since we tried Wan in a blue-white Spirits deck, I just kind of noticed this synergy, right? White Orchid Phantom, Wan, they're both Spirits. They're both pretty good to Aether Vial in, and they've got a lot of synergy together because the Phantom can trigger the Wan, and then also Vialing Phantom in at instant speed. Oh, come on, Magic Online. Why are you like this? All right. Then Viling and Phantom and Instant Speed Wan. Viling and Wan can both be pretty cool. So I've been trying to build this deck since Avatar, and I took it was very tough for me to strike the right balance, despite having this vision. Another dynamic too of me wanting to move away from spirits is that the blue white Aang has been really good for me in several decks now. We just recently played 3 copies in the Quantum Carol deck. I think that Aang is like for me it's I'm gonna be playing it at stock and quantum energy builds for the foreseeable future. I don't think anybody else in the modern format believes in Aang like I do, but I think Aang has been testing really well for me for a really long time, and I believe in the card. So I've kind of had the shell, right, of Aether Vial, Wan, White Orchid Phantom, Aang for a little bit. Skyclave Apparition's been in a lot of these builds. Subtlety's been in a lot of these builds. And I was really struggling to find a good balance. And then they printed Loch Mare. Loch Mare is, I wish I could show you, but Magic Online crashed. Loch Mare is a 2 mana 4/5, but it enters with 3 -1 counters. You can spend 2 mana to remove a counter, draw a card. Or you can spend 3 mana, remove 2 counters, tap a creature, and put a stun counter on it. And so I've been thinking that Lochmare would fit well into this blue-white vial idea, where you can, compensate for the mana cost of the Lochmare with the Aether Vial, vial it in, tap a creature, get in, draw another card, maybe draw 3 cards. Very versatile and potentially powerful alongside Aether Vial. I brought it up yesterday, and I mentioned how the deck has a 1-drop problem. Someone's like, "Why don't you play Guide Pride?" I was like, "Oh, that's so lame." But yeah, you have to play Guide Pride, and then it is a little bit boring, but it definitely is like basically the only thing I think you can do to get the rest of the deck to work. Where when I was building it, I kept going more in like I was kept playing Felia. I had Flicker Wisp in some builds. I was kind of wondering about do you still play Quantum Riddler despite it not being good with Aether Vial? And the answer is just kind of no to that. But it ended up being that this package of Guide, Pride, Ranger-Captain, for me, finally got this into a spot where the deck looked good and looked playable. Now, I played 3 matches last night. I won every single game. The matches I played against was a Jund Moonshadow build that was really similar to our red-black version, but it was playing Cosmogoyf to combo with Detectives Phoenix. Then I played against I played against Dimir Flash next, and I crushed Dimir Flash. Dimir Flash has been really popular. Also, Dimir Flashes are bad. I'm sorry. I also tested updated Dimir Flash with Snapcaster. Snapcaster was really good, and so I'm hoping we get to that today. If we don't get to it today, I'll for sure play it in the challenge tomorrow as an update to those who thought we were going to be starting with that today. But I crushed Dimir Flash, which is really good because that deck's everywhere right now. And then I also beat Esper Blink. I beat Esper Blink really hard too. And so a deck like this, like, that is playing a lot of combo interaction. Like you've got Ranger-Captain, Aang, Subtlety, and White Orchid Phantom for the Tron and the Titan, the Storm in the metagame, and is also beating these grindy matchups 2-0 is really promising. Now I will say this: I've only played 6 games. I won all of them. The deck, it's hard to it's possible that we've just had a really good string, and I don't know what we have here, but I know that we're undefeated. And we're gonna finish up this league and at least play one more. Oh, I guess one more thing is the league, the deck list that we're in the league with is the mana base is a little bit different, and I don't have a Mockingbird. I meant to add a Mockingbird, and then I just didn't, and then I joined the league, and now we're 3-0. But I ended up cutting. There's a third Skyclave in this deck right now over the Mockingbird. Can't keep that hand. The double blue on Wan is tough. I've just kind of accepted it's a little tough here. No challenge today? Yeah, I play challenges on Fridays and Mondays at the moment is the current schedule. And then always Friday, not always Monday. I did think about running one in today. Like very rarely I'll do a Thursday, but we had to take the dogs for a dental checkup today, so wouldn't have been able to make it. Vermis for the 32. Thank you. Welcome back. Snare. Is it Flash instead of Demir? The Field of Ruin implies Wan. I think the wife and I are gonna come watch the Lakers and Mavs on Easter. They're playing tonight too. But Luka's out and Cooper's out and Najee's probably out too. So all of my favorite players to watch. Airbending Wan can be pretty fun. I think I would maybe lean towards activating a Lochmare to tap the Wan if they didn't have the Field of Ruin in play. That being said, maybe I'm a little too weak to Subtlety here. Lame Rester. Cooper has injured, unfortunately. Oh no. Okay, I should have played around Subtlety, I guess. I'm gonna bottom the Aang. Yeah, I should have just Lochmared the Wan. So they decided to block Lochmare instead of blocking the Pride. They've got 4 cards in their hand. Plays a second Field of Ruin. Yeah, so this is it Flash instead of Demir Flash, which is interesting. I mostly think Demir is just better. I think the black removal is better, Cling to Dust is better. I don't think that red offers you enough. But maybe my friend Karna. Oh wait, Grixis. Oh, it's Grixis. Interesting. Maybe my friend Karna will prove us wrong here, though. Cooper is also going to be out for the All-Star, his first All-Star game, which is sad. I think I'm probably not playing around that. I mean, I didn't, but... With splashing events for Meltdown. You can do that. Is Luka still beloved in Texas? Yes. Every time he touches the ball, everyone cheers for him. We'd like to Aang this. Maybe a little risky because now the Lochmare can die. We won't get value out of it. But if that happens, maybe we can airbend the Aang. We play next Friday. Prepare to be decimated by the Wolves. I went to the last Wolves Mavs game and wish I went to the Hornets game that week instead. But it was cool to get to see Ant. What's going on with the no-fly call over El Paso? I'm throwing a party there, so I wanted to make sure the airs were clear. Okay, so they've got a Bowmaster, so my Lochmare is not going to be as effective. Neither is this Wan. I think I'm actually still going to draw a card. If they're going to kill my cat, and that's going to have to be okay, I think. Now, if I play this Wan, it doesn't die to Bowmaster, right? Yeah, nothing dies to Bowmaster. So let's just go and get this down, I think. Obviously, it's awkward that they have the Bowmaster, but let's just go and get our 2-for-1. Yeah, Lochmare's been playing really well. It's one of our last Lorwyn cards to test. And it was one of the ones I was like, I don't know about this one. We'll just test it off stream. But it's been good off stream. I think we can go to 6, but it's a little bit risky. They have their own. Just wish I had another blue card in hand somehow for the Subtlety. I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to Lochmare this, though, and get in pretty hard, I think. If we draw a land, we can hold Hardcast Subtlety up. So we draw a Phantom. So let's Phantom their red source, and then we'll get to draw a card, but we will trigger the Bowmaster. You guys remember battles? Yeah. What? I wish we had battles. Uh, so I think I'm attacking with everything. I've got two. I've got two blockers for the 4/4. If we die, we die. But I think we're behind on cards a little bit. So I think just trying to get in is where we want to be. They're down to 5. Lochmare. I've been liking Lochmare a lot. I don't know if we're gonna be playing more shells with Lochmare. I don't know if anybody's playing it in standard. Um, but I've been liking Lochmare. All right, I think I have to block here. Well, again, the fields and the bowmaster make things all really weird. Yeah, I think I'm gonna block the work. And now they can't force trigger the bowmaster. Interesting to do that after attacks. Goes down to 4, so now the Lochmare is a lethal attacker. Sorry, I still haven't been able to make it over to Micro Center for new mic. Down a game against Demir Flash. I did think this matchup was pretty good when I played it yesterday. At least it felt good. I cut the Phantoms for the Disputes and the Teferis. And then I do want the 4th Subtlety. And I need to think about... I think I'm going to cut the Mockingbird. Is Counterspell good enough for modern right now? It never wasn't. And currently Demir Flash is close to a tier 1 deck, if not a tier 1 deck, and it plays like 5 counterspells with the Logic Knot. So yes. Graveyard's the Steam Vents. Ka-chow, Wiz. Oh, sorry, I meant to say no to the vial. Sorry about that. Not the end of the world, though. Don't want to attack as a bowmaster, I believe. So I'm going to crack the fetch to see if they want in response. They don't want in response. So I think I just want to cast my own Wan this turn with the Vial Aang up to protect it from counter magic. And why don't we just go ahead and do this now while the opponent's tapped out? And if they Fatal Push it, it's okay. We'll get the 2-for-1. Can Aang a dispute? Although if they Fatal Push it, I could just maybe Aang it again, Aang it back to protect it. Although we wouldn't be able to pay X, which is a problem. So Guide Pride. How do you flip Aang? It happens more often than you'd think, maybe. I guess I don't know how often you think, but somewhat often. think it's good to do this here. And I think we'll actually flip Aang. Yeah, let's transform Aang instead of casting the other guide here, especially because that also plays into counter magic, which somewhat likely there is some, right? Remember, you can transform Aang at instant speed. Well, it didn't play around that very well. Kind of hard to play around the one damnation. Maybe he has Kaito in hand with that pause. Lochmare's been good. Short answer, good. I think we just let that go. I guess it's possible there's more. I don't think I've seen anybody play more than one damnation though. Like how one had so much hype, then flop before I found the flash deck. Yeah, I know. I was like such a believer for so long, and then it just did not feel like anybody was believing in it until the flash deck. So if I play the guide, I don't have subtlety up. I think that's okay. Get in for 2. Could run out a Skyclave here. I think we got to get a little bit more pressure out there. One thing that's nice about the random 2/2s also is that, you know, they kind of just, they have to. I think I will take up the vial also. They've got to respect them. I might even just run out this last Skyclave. We'll see what they do. Yeah, I think we're setting up to flip Aang next turn. Puts the subtlety on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch main phase here. So if they have a copy of Wan, wait, 5. Yeah, 1 short. If they have another copy of Wan, they'll play it, and then they'll play it. If this gets countered, that's okay. Although blue or blue black is weird. Is just logic not. Cast guide from Airbend. I already did. The damnation was so tough. It was hard to play around. They play Watery Grave tapped. This is kind of weak to subtlety, but does this cling to dust? Just mistapped. Yeah, maybe I should have expected another subtlety. I mean, they bottomed the other one. And then now I can't attack with 2 things. They don't have Revolt for Fatal Push, though. So we should be able to attack with the Aang. And then getting a counter on the Skyclave is nice. Yeah, probably just was bad to cast the guide there. I like that I could cast it and then use it to pay for water bending and then jump also this turn. But my hubris and my greed, yet again. So maybe my opponent's just going to block and then Fatal Push. No, they go to 1. Maybe Edict. Okay, nothing. 4 cards in hand over there. Cling to Dust in the Yard. 2 Field of Ruins. Aang has been really good. Maybe Aang is my new Wan project since it just continues to test so well. Kicking a Consult. If we win this game after that Damnation, I'll feel pretty happy. It did feel like this matchup was very good when I played it last night. So we do get to go to game 3. Aether Vial is a big part of it. Feeling good though. Yeah, I'm thrilled that people are loving this Dimir Flash deck. I think it's quite good. I've been liking Snapcaster over Bowmaster in the current metagame, subject to change, of course. I mean, Aether Vial is really, really strong. If they do have a Spell Pierce, it's a disaster to keep this, but I think you just have to keep this on the draw in game 3. Kind of classic, like, don't counter my Aether Vial, please. Come on, Karna. Brutal. I'll probably Subtlety a Bowmaster. Well, I guess Bowmaster wouldn't be able to kill the Pride. Yeah, probably let it go. Wan, on the other hand, makes my top decks pretty awkward. Puts it back on top. But then plays the tap land so they can't play 1 as a 2/2. I think people should be main phasing Wan more often than they are. Does have the Bowmaster also. Now can kill my Pride and then double block. But decides instead to let the Pride live so that you can keep Bowmaster. I can fetch now before the Wan becomes live. Gonna graveyard that. I get a cat. Untap lane would be great, so I could attack and then Aang the Wan, potentially. They just have a second Bowmaster, which is less than great. And his Wan, 2 mystery cards, misses their land drop also. I've got 1 card I can play, and it is obviously awful into this board of double Bowmaster. Although it is a 1/2 against all the 1/1s. And I can, potentially activate the other mode. Well, I have not. But 3 drops and my Aether Vial was countered. Did not play the Wan. They put it on top. I'm going to double check that, right? Did. I feel like you would always play the Wan there. I might just give them 2 Bowmaster triggers. It's a pretty big problem. I need a land so desperately. Attack with Loch Mare might have been good. I mean, you're trading it for a Bowmaster. Don't think so. I think I'm the aggro here. So they're going to counterspell Subtlety if I evoke. I think we do want to make that trade so we can untap and cast a Skyclave or a Ranger-Captain. We're going for the tempo. Right, so Wan comes down. It's a 2/2. I'm going to tap the Wan here. And then won't untap next turn. My Lochmare becomes a 3/4. Although maybe I'm Skyclaving the Wan since my hand is double Ranger-Captain. Maybe I'm just gonna ignore the Wan. Maybe I'll go Ranger-Captain Guide here. Let me attack for 4 first. Yeah, I think we're just trying to raise. Not very likely to win, but I think this is our chance to win. Remember, Guide of Souls Lochmare has some interesting tricks too, because you can add flying and +1 counters to it, and you can remove some of those if you need to like tap something again. Looks like they found a Fatal Push, kills the Guide of Souls. So let's go ahead and go to combat. Hold to a Subtlety for sure. Better than the average draw, I guess. Think we were not able to get underneath enough. Does seem like this game would have been, just pretty easy if we would have been able to resolve the vial. I think we're getting subtlety again, but we just can't play around stuff at this point. Too behind. With so many wands around, is it hard to play 2-color decks with minimal fetches? Just play around one, I think, is my current attitude. Dang, thought we were going to come back after beating that Damnation game too. Alright, because of the subtlety, I think we can afford to keep this. Sorry, probably shouldn't be F6, that would subtlety Ragavan. Wait. Okay, never mind. For some reason, I was thinking that like Ancient Ziggurat could be good in our deck. We maybe we could. I don't think. I think we need to keep the flagstones and stuff in. I don't know why. I just wanted to take a moment to think about that. Playing against a blue-white deck. Not really any world where we run out the wand in middle of combat. I'll subtlety Ophelia if they have Felia. Oh my gosh. Sorry. This is not the first time I've just brain farted on lore and revealed when I have one. I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't think I'll get it next time. They grab a steam vents. Is playing Loam, Bobble, 6 in a Moonshadow build too much in the tank? I mean, it just sounds bad, bluntly. It just doesn't seem like Loam and 6 are really slow, grindy cards. Moonshadow is a really cheap, aggressive card. Is our opponent beating us to the punch on the Stoneforge Meteor Sword deck? Crazy to see a Stoneforge Mystic. They grab Batterskull. Oh my gosh. Let's go, dude. Opponent's the coolest opponent in months. Batterskull is crazy. There are literally so many better equipment, though. It's crazy, but at least they didn't beat us to the Meteor Sword punch. I don't really want to subtlety this. Let's see what my next card is. Okay, honestly, with another Lochmare, we should, though. They put the Riddler on the bottom. I'm gonna cast the Loch Mare because I want a Violent Phantom on their upkeep. This is bad if they have Snare, of course. I think they're just reading. I've been pretty impressed by Loch Mare so far. All right, so we're gonna go upkeep Violin, the Phantom, target the Archive. Presumably draw a card. Yep. Can take up the Vial to Violin Aang, draw 2 cards off the Loch Mare. So I'm going to bring in these 5 cards. I'm going to cut the Phantoms and I'm going to cut a Skyclave. I know they have Stoneforge Mystic, but Aang is also so insane against Cauldron and Batterskull. I don't think we need it. Guide Pride is a lot better against a lot better than Cauldron Batterskull too. Keeping this on the draw. I think we should fetch another Fountain on our turn to play around Wan. Just because they are a Stoneforge Mystic deck doesn't mean they're that all the way caught in 2019. Is Brain Surge a playable card with Stoneforge, or is Dimir Wan and Bowmaster too tough? I sometimes I get asked questions and I just have genuinely no idea how the two thoughts are connected at all. But I don't. Brain Surge is not. Brain Surge Stoneforge Mystic is not. Neither of those two cards are very good, and they have some small synergy together. But it's not like you're dying for to play either of those cards right now, right? But honestly, sometimes I just have no idea how two thoughts are connected. Sorry. All right, Lord revealed I can play one. Lord revealed I can play one. Okay. No Lord revealed this time. I think we can just chill here. Oh, they are playing Cryptic Coat. What happens if I airbend the Manifest? This is a nice way I've heard Psycho someone to kick rocks. I'm not telling you to get kick rocks. I'm saying I try to be very literal. I try to say this is bad. I don't understand. Everyone thinks I'm so mean. It gets countered. Well, I know it has ward now. I know that's not aligned this turn, but if I paid for ward, what would happen? I assume that they would just be able to cast whatever. They decided to hold up counter magic rather than replay the coat. Yeah, I mean I can maybe X or draw 2 cards off the one next turn. So maybe I wonder if we could play Aang and Cryptic Coat in the same deck and then airbend our own manifest cards. Sounds kind of fun. So they replay the coat. They definitely have counterspell in their hand. So I mean I really want to resolve the wand, so I think I'm just gonna cast a subtlety here. Dunk with the 1 year, welcome back. Although the cryptic code is getting mentioned 2 days in a row. Yeah, I mean it's possible we abandoned this a little early. If you cloak Moonshadow, flips with no counters. Oh boy, now we're cooking. So if they have Ephemerate, it's bad, but I think we're just letting this happen, especially because they're probably targeting Aang. If okay, they target Subtlety. I mean, if they have Ephemerate, they're targeting both. They definitely have Ephemerate in their deck. This is maybe super bad if they have manifested something good to Ephemerate, but they could have done that anyways. So now I think I'm going to play the one in their upkeep after the Ephemerate, because then they'll just have one card in their hand, and if it's a counter spell, good for them. Oh, they bounced the coat, right? So do I still... I think I still cast the one. If they have Subtlety, we can Subtlety back. Yeah, we are playing against Jeskai Stoneblade, which is so cool. Give it another discharge. Okay. So nice 3-for-1 here, although they're about to Cryptic Coat me. Coat is really, really hard to outgrind. Down to 5th, or yeah, 13. I have been thinking more about Golgari and how shifting Woodland with Moonshadow and Baelmerk felt really good when we played the Golgari Moonshadow deck. It feels like we just need another reason to be black-green. We just need another reason so badly. But maybe one day we'll get it. They shock in the fountain. So they have Discharge. Could have Mana Tithe. Could have Ephemerate. All of these things gonna make it where I don't really want to flip the Aang next turn, I guess. But at the moment, I don't have a lot else to do. I have something else to do. So let's main phase the one. If they have Ephemerate or Discharge, I want to know which one it is now, and that'll help me figure out my attacks. It's Ephemerate, which is kind of awkward because now I'm only gaining 1 life. They also get to rebound the Ephemerate. One thing that's kind of nice about this, I guess, is that I'm not taking as much damage. I guess I'll attack with just Subtlety, assuming that they're going to Ephemerate the Solitude, and then I want a 2/3 to block the 2/2 rather than a 3/3. Although maybe they'll exile the Aang this way. I might be able to dispute a Cryptic Coat at some point this game. We'll see. So I'm gonna stay at 6 life this game, or this turn rather. Aang being Legend is kind of rough. I agree. You do get to transform it and sometimes have both in play for whatever that's worth. Can I afford to play this Teferi? I don't think I can this turn. Did I just need Champion of the Word decks? I'd say Yogg just better. The problem with Champion of the Weird, I know that's a card that was a card that was on our to-do list and I haven't played. I do think there's some interesting stuff going on with it. The problem is I can't build any of the decks I want to build with it because of the Ward Goblin. Like I want to play it more in like Geralf's Messenger decks. But Behold a Goblin is very tough to do outside of just goblins, so and I don't really think it fits that well into the Birthing Ritual Goblin deck either. So do I want to activate the Loch Mare this turn? I will be tapped out of Dispute. One thing is, I can't really dispute the Cryptic Code anyways this turn. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and... Well, do I want to remove 2 counters? Yeah, I think I want to stun counter the Solitude here. deck is so fun. I think I airbent the Solitude. Or did I airbend something else that they can play that I'm forgetting about? I think, or are they just trying to bounce the coat? Bouncing coat's not that great because they don't get the attack in. So I would think that they should attack. They should attack, then bounce coat, then replay next turn. Put me down to 3. Although I guess that could have disputed if that was what they were going to do. So I'm down to 3. They've got a Scalding Tarn. I've drawn a Ranger-Captain. So I could go Ranger-Captain, Guide, go to 4. Going to 4 is really nice against the unblockable 3-mana creature. Then they go attack for 3, bounce, replay, and I dispute. I think this works well enough. I think this is better than stun countering with the Loch Mare this turn at the very least. Do you want a Mockingbird instead? I could Mockingbird Solitude. I think I'm gonna go for the guide because it seems like I'm gonna get to dispute the coat this way. Unfortunately, I'm one. I guess. What if I end up? I'm just dreaming, but if somehow I subtlety in their second main phase, I can waterbend Aang. Because it costs 8, I've got 7 right now. I guess I could just do this anyways, but was Cryptico good and limited? I'm sure it was nuts, yeah. So now I'm not going to be able to dispute the coat this turn. So let's go ahead and subtlety, pitching the dispute instead. And as much as I want to waterbend right now, let's maybe not die instead. Maybe, so I guess I should have drawn off the Loch Mare first, although I'm not sure exactly what else I would pitch. They do put the Teferi on top. We might be playing Hearthstone soon. I do have the option of sacking Ranger-Captain to deny the Teferi for another turn. I draw another copy of my own Teferi. So I think I'm going to cast the Teferi. Bounce my own Ranger-Captain. Draw another Aang. Good Mockingbird Ranger-Captain. I think I'll just get Ocelot Pride. All right. Any attacks? Probably want to get the Guide of Souls value. So I think I'm attacking with Loch Mare since the extra counters in the Loch Mare have value, obviously with the guide with the ability. And then I'm gonna have a bunch of blockers with the Ocelot Pride, and I'm gonna sack the Ranger-Captain in their upkeep so they can't cast the Teferi that we know they're drawing because we put it on top with Subtlety. This is an amazing match. I'm really trying to enjoy it while we're getting to play this one. This has been a great game. It's good to appreciate while you have some good games. Don't the counters mean you can't use the ability? So Lochmare says remove a counter or remove 2 counters. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. I thought I would have a +1 counter and a -1 and a flying counter, but you're right. I still have 2 -1 counters. So this turn I can't use the Lochmare. In the future I can. Extra counters have values. You can remove the 2 counters. Yeah, you can keep removing the flying counters and the +1 counters from Guide. So you know how Guide gives things multiple flying counters, and that has never been relevant before. It is now relevant. Funny enough. I can still draw. Oh, that's true. I can still draw because I can just remove the flying counter. Yeah, so yeah, this Guide of Souls technically keeps dumping flying counters on things, which usually isn't that relevant. I imagine people don't even track it in paper, but it's now relevant. Will they kill the Teferi? That's gonna be a big question. Three, four, five, six, seven. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should solve my second planes in the deck. Somehow. Oh, you know what? I should have blocked with the cat on. No, no, no. Sorry, the Solitude would still kill the cat. This doesn't have first strike. Yeah, I agree. The tracking is pretty rough. We did die with this play to Quantum Riddler if this was Quantum Riddler. Now, okay, well, we just do another Ranger-Captain, which maybe makes things a little too easy. So this has trample, they're not going to block this. This is flying, they're not going to block this. This will have flying also. So they'll block here. I guess technically blocking Aang is still better. So we'll say -2 damage, -1 damage, and then they're still going to take 4, 8, 11, 12. So it would seem that Captain for another Guide of Souls plus Aang is lethal. You can bounce one, airbid the other. Yeah, I guess that's easier. This should still be lethal though. But that is easier. And gives +1/+1. I was counting the +1s. Like I was counting the subtlety as 4. I only counted Loch Mare as 4 though. Okay, I wasn't counting on all of them, I guess. I guess it is actually gonna be best to jump the Aang since it's more damage reduced if they blocked it. Although it's more life gained if I jump these two instead. Oh no, so the guide is a 2/2 now. That just doesn't really matter, does it? I'll just put it both on the Pride because it has lifelink. But says GG's, good games indeed. There's a lack of quality Simic creatures, right? But maybe Lochmare is good to collect a company into, especially if you're playing like Badgermole Cub. And then I don't know. There's to me the gears are spinning a little bit. I don't really mind so much if they wand my fetch, so I can subtlety and go guide Mockingbird next turn. Although it's not Dimir Flash. Glad we played the Witch Enchanter turn 1 to not get thought seized. Funny that we kind of like was not super clear because of Wan. Have you played a Kishless Skimmer deck with Oculus? Yeah, we played some Sultai builds where we also play Unearth and Graveyard Trespasser, Psychic Frog, sometimes Emperor of Bones. I do like Kishless Skimmer. Yeah, you could maybe be Bant Company on also. But Lochmare's looking good. Future's looking bright. Bright and shiny. Yeah, Skimmer was good. I don't know if we really got many new tools for Skimmer. So this is probably Grixis Shadow, which is also kind of cool that that's what we're pretty sure this is at this point in the game. You know what I mean? I guess I'm just gonna play a Lochmare. Maybe I should have subtlety the Ragavan. So this is the Grixis Unearth Oculus deck instead. Sanctifier, in fact, maybe the best card in the format against this deck, although they can still unearth Oculus, I guess. They have a Fatal Push for my Lochmare. 2 cards in their hand after that. They have an Archon in the yard. And a Fatal Push for my Guide of Souls. Maybe I'll be able to subtlety an Oculus, although they know I have the subtlety. They flip over an Archive to the Ragavan. They use the treasure token to cast a Tamio. Sorry, I should have probably Subtlety the Tommy. Am I gonna Mockingbird Tamio? It's not very good. This is the worst Lochmare's looked as well. Does Earthbending have to see the land? Have the land see the graveyard? Yeah. Yeah, Earthbending does trigger Badger Bowl. Or sorry, trigger Skimmer. Yeah, I know it blocks Ragavan. We're gonna get kind of buried by the Tamio. They could also flip Tamio with looting this turn. I might want to let the Ragavan connect. Yeah, I think I probably just need to let it connect so I can get this Loch Mare just up to 2 power. We lost an Arid Mesa to the Ragavan. Certainly feels like not very likely to win this game. It's just we were really cold to persist game 1. You know, the last couple days we haven't played against Neoform, Boros, and Tron like for 90% of our matches. Things haven't been feeling half bad, have they? All right, I think I need to Subtlety the Grand instead of holding it for Oculus. Predictably, they put it on the bottom. Let's draw a land, please. Did not draw land. Now they get back the Fatal Push. I guess I'm... So they could minus the Tamio on Fatal Push, so I need to attack the Tamio, so if they do that, they lose the Tamio at least. Didn't you hit Tron like 3 times when I played Moonshot Cookbook? Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the last 2 days, though. Are there any Tamio looting decks you would recommend? I think this one is fine. This, like, Grixis Persist deck. They flip over a Fountain Ragavan, denying all my land drops. They sack a Clue. Plus the Tamium. Very weird game. Yeah, I'm still just trying to draw my land so I can Mockingbird the Ragavan. Ragavan just steals a land from me every single game, every single turn. Super anemic, super embarrassing game. We'll probably go to game 2 any second now. I keep saying a lot of regrets on the subtleties, although it's not usually wise to plan to miss every single land drop either. They surveil. Makes sense to surveil with the Tamio. If they see persist, they can pick it up. I'm at 7 life. They flip over an island. Ragavan's stolen 4 lands from me. Opponent just can still get flooded and lose. They cycle on Earth. They plus the Tamio. We draw the land, baby. Although it's a white source. I think we got to play the Ranger-Captain. I think with the Mockingbird in my hand, I'll get Guide of Souls. Tamio is a pretty crazy card. Test. Sorry about that, y'all. I think I'm gonna play the guide and copy the frog. Maybe it was better to play an Aether Vial instead of the guide this turn. They chump block with this Ragavan. No longer will steal from me. We could also like just discard the Aether Vials. Maybe my opponent is going to minus on the Fatal Push finally. They flash back the looting. Maybe I should sacrifice the Ranger-Captain now to play around Persist. I think instead, what I would probably prefer to do is if they minus the Tamio, sack the Ranger-Captain. Maybe that doesn't make as much sense. But I think I just need to try. I'm just going to try to fade the Persist yet again. They discard a frog and a delta. They are casting an Abhorrent Oculus now. pretty interesting. This Tamio is still very annoying. Darth Clyde with the 22 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They get to manifest Dread here. We only have one counter on the Lochmare, but if I jump it with Guide of Souls, I can, or I could activate it, although I'm not going to have the ability to jump it with Guide of Souls this turn. Very weird game. Seems like I want to go cast Ranger-Captain. I might just need to disregard the Tamio at this point. I might need to disregard Tamio. No, I need to attack the Tamio. It's a minimum fatal push here. Now it's more likely that my opponent's gonna chump block with their frog, so it's not like we really get that much value here. So they don't fly the frog, they block with Oculus, which is gotta be worse, right? I guess they really want to draw their card. So I need to discard one more. Let's discard the wand, maybe. Maybe Phantom's a little bit better. Okay, they have an Emperor Bones. They're down a game against Grixis on Earth. Let's bring in our Sanctifiers. I think Teferi's pretty good against them. Dispute hits Frog and Oculus. Tamio, Gran seems like a good number. Skyclave seems quite good against them. I don't think Subtlety is very good. I think we can cut them. I think we've cut the Phantoms again. The Tron players also all disappeared as soon as I started playing a lot of hate cards. I think I'm going to cut the Mockingbird also, click submit, and then... although it was good that game. Maybe I should keep it. What would I cut? I think everything else is kind of better. Maybe I'll cut a Ranger-Captain, which is a little bit weird, but I just have a lot of 3s, so I think if I'm going to cut something, maybe cutting a 3 is good. Okay, well, I guess I'll hold it for a second. Okay, we do have a second white source in the Witch Enchanter. We're going to lead on the Witch Enchanter to play around. I'm going to lead on the Witch Enchanter to play around Thoughtseize. If I leading on Pride, I think makes some sense since none of their 1-mana creatures. Oh, so Gran is the reason to not lead on Pride. Okay. They got a Steam Vents. They have a Tamio. I think we might as well attack here. Maybe a waste of everybody's time. They Graveyard to Persist. They cast a Ragavan. Let's Skyclave the Tamio. I think I'm going to jump the Guide of Souls just so I can get in for an extra point of damage here. Definitely trying to race while I don't have a Sanctifier en-Vec. I think it's good to also leave back a cat token so I can block double or have 2 blockers for the Ragavan to totally invalidate it, and my opponent feels totally invalidated. And after a very long grind to game 1, we go to game 2 really quick. I think I'm actually going to go in a couple copies. I think Ranger-Captain's maybe it's not that bad. Just want at least 1 subtlety on the draw. I've not played updated Dimir Flash. Can I explain my reason for swapping Bowmasters for Snap? We're gonna do it. We're gonna play either playing it today or tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Keep, I guess. I think Bowmasters is better overall. One thing I really like about Snapcaster is I think it makes your Tron matchup feel very comfortable, where all of a sudden post-board you have Consign plus Snapcaster, where you're just you no longer need to feel like you need to play a bunch of extra sideboard slots for Tron, which some people were doing. I didn't think it was necessarily mandatory, but now you can feel very comfortable against Tron. Okay, that's an insane draw, dude. Overall, also, I think that Bowmasters has not been playing very well. With the weird exception is that Bowmasters is good in the mirror, although it's not that good in the mirror. It's solid. But like, yeah, weirdly Bowmasters is good in the mirror. So it is getting better, but like Bowmasters is like fine to kind of good against Boros, fine to kind of good against Flash, and then bad in I think every single other matchup. Snapcaster has been I played it last night. Every single time I had Snapcaster last night, it was better than Bowmaster would have been. I was really happy with it. It felt very natural, and I think that is just better positioned in the metagame. What do you think about the blue energy decks against Boros? I think they're usually favored. I was a big believer in them, and then they never really seem to manifest much. I mean, I don't think we need to care a lot about the Emperor. Let's hold up the Aang. And I don't think Snapcaster I think is also fine in the mirror, although it's a little bit sus against all the clings. They adapt. So am I going to airbend my own Guide of Souls now? Yeah, let's do it. Do you know yet what I'm playing in the next challenge? So I'm gonna play the Dimir Flash deck if I don't play it today. I'll play it. I'll play it in the challenge tomorrow for sure. I think I really want to get to it this week, and maybe a challenge is just better for a deck that we know is just a challenge worthy deck, anyways. And if not, I might play the Viper Monument deck. I might play this honestly. All right, so they play Looting, they flip Tamio to discard Archon Persist. Thank you, Sanctifier. Sanctifier is so insane in this matchup. They only have one card in their hand here. Taking 4 damage. So I think I'm going to play the Skyclave instead of the Guide of Souls first, so I can hold up Dispute. I'm actually going to exile the Tamio instead of the Emperor. Just leave the Sanctifier back to block the Emperor for now. Once they've adapted it, we don't really care too much. Get in for 1. Want to be able to dispute a frog here. Oh, I guess there's not much else. They exile another copy of Archon of Cruelty. All right, they flip another Tamio. That's all they're doing with the turn so far, though. They now have an Archon in the yard too, which is maybe a little scary. I think I'm just going to be a bit more mana efficient here. Let's get the Mockingbird so I can copy Emperor of Bones. And that'll get the Oculus out of the yard. So unless they draw Unearth this turn, their best out, which is drawing Unearth or Persist, I guess this turn, is going to be taken away. And then if they do end up top decking it this turn, we can Mockingbird or Skyclave to get rid of the Oculus. So 2 and 1. Let's mulligan. Gingerade with the 23 months. I think because this is I have 2 different sorcery speed plays on turn 3. I think I'd rather put back the Aang. My opponent kept 7 on the play. And they're playing a Delta. Nice to draw a 1-drop. Cycle Street Wraith. So this could be Living End. If so, the Ranger-Captain could be good. This could also be a Moon Shadow deck. Looks like more likely to be Living End. So being on the draw might mean that the Ranger-Captain's too slow. We should have a pretty solid matchup though between Ranger-Captain, High Noon, Consign, Teferi, Time Raveler. We have a lot of good cards against Living End. Maybe we'll get to surveil a creature in the yard here if they do have the turn 3. All right, so not only do we get to play Ranger Captain this turn, We get to surveil looking for a creature to put in the yard, and we also have Subtlety up to protect against another Subtlety. We don't find the creature in the yard, though. I guess I don't know if I would want a Subtlety and Endurance, so let me just cast the Ranger-Captain first to see if they even... have Subtlety. They did Graveyard 1, so there's only 3 in the deck. I think that they would have kept it on top a big amount of the time, although maybe they were just digging for a Living End effect. You know, I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen as much Living End. I would have thought that it would have been, like, very, very popular. But it hasn't been as popular as I kind of thought it would be. So yeah, let's attack. If they Endurance, I'll Subtlety, pitching probably Lochmare this game. Oh, maybe not. Maybe... Because if I sack Ranger-Captain, I'm going to want to go probably Mockingbird, Pride, and then cast the Lochmare because I won't have the blue. But I got the Mockingbird so that I could copy Ranger-Captain next turn if my opponent doesn't Shardless Agent or Living in this turn, and my opponent didn't Living in last turn, so they would need to top deck an Agent this turn, right? Unless they were playing around something. And again, I think same thing where I want to have information on what I'm doing with the Subtlety before I am forced to make a decision there. Like, if they Subtlety this, then like I'll Subtlety back. But if I were to attack first and they would play Endurance, I guess I would still Subtlety all the time. They have a hardcast Subtlety? They have a Sink, okay. So we're going to attack for 6. Cool game. We have lethal in play this turn, so they're going to need to do something. They play a Watery Grave tapped. And then they pass the turn. I think just same holding pattern here. Why didn't they sink the captain? Good question. They definitely should have. Okay, good news, and we maybe have 2 mini sideboard cards for Living End. Aang is not so good against Living End. Like, they just plot it, they replay it, so I think. Although Aang is pretty good against a lot of the like big hardcast stuff. I think I'm gonna cut the Phantoms. I think we cut Phantom all day today just to have it run into. I mean, it's never terrible main deck, which is nice, but you do definitely want the 4th Subtlety against them. Cut both Skyclaves. Dispute is probably fine, counting Wistfulness, Subtlety, Sink. I think we want the Disputes. Maybe I'm going to cut... I think I'll cut a Vial since I boarded... with the way we've boarded Vials not looking as good, or maybe even not good at all. Yeah, maybe I think I'll play 2 Vials and 1 Aang. Yeah, they could recast the Living End while it's airbent, because it now has like a way to be cast. Yeah, Lochmare's been really good, I think. I've been impressed. We got a sideboard card, kind of hard to mull again. No, Lochmare definitely way better on the Aether Vial draws. Sanctifier, I don't think Sanctifier is good against them. I mean, there's a few things it does stop, but for the most part, it doesn't stop very much. No, High Noon not as good a sideboard card against Living End as maybe it was now that they're main decking a bunch of Wistfulnesses. The High Noon's mostly in the sideboard for the Prowess and Storm matchups. So they Impending an Overlord. They find a Wistfulness, a Deceit, and they could also get back a Sink. What is the idea behind Lochmare? Well, the idea is that maybe this card is good. And it has been. It has been just kind of a good tool that I've been impressed by. They ended up taking the Wistfulness, which is obviously going to be a good choice for them, but thankfully I drew Teferi. So beyond maybe this card is good, the thinking is maybe, I guess I would say even more than just maybe that. I've been working on this Aether Vial, this blue-white value Aether Vial deck since Avatar came out with Wan and Phantom. And Lochmare fits really nicely in there, where you have a big mana advantage with Vial, and you can Vial and Lochmare, use the abilities, maybe draw more cards, etc., etc. Um, Pi, thanks for the raid. A lot of raids lately from Pi. Hope you're doing well. What are you playing today? If you're still here. Has the sacrifice part of High Noon ever won you a game? We've definitely lost to the sacrifice part of High Noon a bunch. I don't know if I've ever activated it personally. I think I maybe have missed it at least once. Right, so they countered my High Noon. Let's see if we can resolve a fun Raveler. Played Psychotog pre-modern. Nice. I haven't heard a lot of buzz about pre-modern lately, but I've kept meaning to get into it. Haven't quite yet. So they subtlety pitching a Shardless agent. Now it's possible that that was their only Shardless agent, and they needed to do this in order to not lose the game. Have I found any situations where the -2 counter ability is worth it? Yeah, it's very nice. This card is versatile. It becomes big pretty quick. I think we've used both abilities almost equally at this point. I've liked it. All right, so they cycle a Generous Sense. They play Underground Mortuary. They have 2 cards in their hand. They keep a card on top. Do they have the second Shardless agent? All right. Game 3. Should be pretty good game 3 between Consign, High Noon, Teferi, Ranger-Captain, but, you know, it's living end. Anything's possible. We know they had Wistfulness in their hands, so they had another pitcher. No, they forced pitching Wistfulness last turn. So they went force pitch Wistfulness, then subtlety pitch agent. I'll keep. I imagine it's proper to lead on the Ranger-Captain, since Teferi gets countered by Dispute and Subtlety, where Ranger-Captain only gets got by Subtlety. I'm more leaning towards Loch Mare being a new version of the Ninjutsu Kaito. It gets bigger, has card advantage, stuns your opponent's creatures. I mean, there's some similarities. It's a little bit weird to compare a creature to a planeswalker, but yeah, it's maybe a good way to think about it if it helps you. Might be getting. I guess they can't Deceit. Maybe they'll just Wistfulness. Overlord. They mill a Foundation Breaker. There's a Formidable Speaker. It's weird they made the second ability cost more and remove a second counter, since you can only do each mode once instead of potentially drawing 2 and stunning a creature. I feel like it's fine. Like the stun a creature like can kill really quick. And being able to stun multiple things with the same thing, I think, is probably a little too good. Getting a Lochmare in the yard here is actually pretty nice, since their graveyard is not too stocked. Again, leading on the Ranger-Captain, since the this only gets Subtlety, this gets Force or Subtlety. They have the Subtlety, though. They pitch Shardless Agent. That bodes poorly. I guess I'm still keeping it on top. Kirol, Lochmare. So Kirol only copies triggered abilities, unfortunately. Kirol was in some drafts of this deck, even not being able to copy Lochmare, and I decided against it. So if they do Living In next turn, I can have a Lochmare in play. I can bounce their Curator of Mysteries maybe with Teferi. Oh my gosh. Well, we're getting Living Ended. Man, turn 3, Impending Overlord in play, Subtlety, your hate piece, Endurance, your graveyard, and Living End is like... man, it's brutal. Losing both of these sideboard games too is crazy. I mean, I guess the game is not technically over, but they also get to like they have this in play and they get to tutor up a good thing. Yeah, I'll concede. That's fine. Keeping this. Put us in a Molda 6 on the play. Keep their 6. Archive tapped. Oh, sorry. I probably should just play the Fountain. think I'd like to wait on the Lochmare probably for next turn. I think I'm not going to cast a 1/1. Actually, I'm changing my tune on that. I think just with the Lochmare in my hand, actually, I just want to deploy this, and then I also have White Orchid Phantoms I can get, but I just should have a lot of gas. So I think I just want to be deploying my cards. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything we could draw off the Lochmare, right? I guess we can't draw Subtlety and a blue card. Do they have a fourth land? Yeah, they've been stumbling a little bit. Everybody's reading Lochmare today. All right, I will take the 3-for-1. I accept. Living in with grief was so insane in hindsight. I mean, it was so insane at the time. All right. Graveyarding some lands. Thank you, Surveil lands. Gonna tick this up. They got 2 cards in their hand over there. Draw a Guide of Souls, which I guess I'm gonna go. I was thinking I was gonna go Mockingbird my Ranger-Captain here. Maybe I just want to get Ocelot Pride instead. I think I'm gonna Mockingbird the Ranger-Captain. Army in a can. So they got 3 cards in their hand now. We're a bit flooded despite getting that 3-for-1 off the Lochmare. Although that Subtlety is basically the best top deck. We could maybe be like scared of a Wrath Disguise because they do have 2 sandbagged energy, but they didn't have Wrath last turn. It's not like we're just killing them. They Solitude pitch Felia. Could Subtlety this. I think I'd rather just save it for the Flage. Bad if they had an Ephemerate, but yeah, they're pretty close to escaping the Flage, so I think I'm just saving Subtlety for this. Possibly going to be correct to take the Vial up to 4 next turn, although that does telegraph the Subtlety really hard. Okay, with their last card not being a land, they're actually a good bit further away from the Subtlety. So maybe just good to Subtlety this. We have 12 damage coming in here. Did you ever take a look at any previous Ascend cards after MH3 release? I did not know. I wouldn't really think that like Ocelot Pride necessarily makes. I mean, it doesn't make them worse, but like when you're ascending with Ocelot Pride, it's not like you usually need much help. Okay, again, Cutting of the Phantoms basically in all the fair matchups. Been playing kind of nothing but fair matchups, but enjoying the gameplay, I guess. I do kind of want more Skyclaves, but maybe it's too many 3-drops. Skyclave's also kind of rough on the draw, I guess. I'm not sure about Aang. I enjoyed the Quantum Energy deck with Corral. I thought about adding something that makes token copies. So token copy of Corral equals infinite cats. I guess what I guess the only thing that would be right is Springheart Nantuko. So Yeah, I guess that is an infinite combo if we were to play like green white ritual with Corral, which is something I wanted to do it also anyways with Corral was play green white ritual. Like copy Bright Glass Gear Hulk seems so cool to me. Copy Birthing Ritual Trigger seems fine. So I think great idea. Corral is legendary, so it's kind of tricky. It should still work, right? You just sack the old copy, do the new one. It's like, oh no, it doesn't work because then you Nantuko. Wait, so you Nantuko, you make a token. Yeah, you just need to make a token copy. Then you have to sack the original. It's probably fine though. See if they have a discharge. They do. All right, adding several things to the list today. The fact that it's an infinite combo with like three good playable cards is obviously always like nice to have that incidentally, of course. So they got 4 cards. I have 6. Shout out being on the draw, I guess. I think they have a consign. It's maybe a little bit weird to get Mockingbird. I kind of like Mockingbird plus Dispute up next turn, though. And then I have 5 mana, so if my opponent casts a Solitude or a Riddler, I could Mockingbird that. Could do it in Jeskai Energy Shell with Twin as the copier. No. You don't you don't try to like copy Carol with Twin so that if you also have Ocelot Pride, you give that's not how you would play Twin. Twin isn't that bad. Graveyard's a consign. There's Arena of Glory. Am I gonna take 12? I think I am gonna take 12. And then dispute the consign on the Skyclave ETB. You mean to run a normal Twin? I mean, I don't think you probably would, but to me, it just seems like it slots really well in the green white birthing ritual deck. We'll see how it plays there. But I just don't think that you would be able to slot it in there. All right, so Lochmare is really nice. We can play it and draw 2 cards next turn. Lochmare is actually really similar to Wan, now that I'm thinking about it. It's like 2 mana up front, and it grows by 1 for each extra 2 mana you spend. If Vial was printed in 2026, you think it would start with a counter on it? Maybe. They didn't end up having a consign after all. Thankfully, I'm able to dispute that. Well, let's keep another one. Maybe it was better to Mockingbird the... Maybe it was better to Mockingbird the Skyclave and get rid of the Fable. Werebear, let's go. Congrats on the million. Let's go. They discard a Strict Serenade. They keep their other card. It's been a grind. I love to see a VAP mod redemption not immediately after I lose a channel point prediction. Oh, we already did the Riddler. Okay. Hasting Solitude. I gain 3 life. So I could take 5. I don't think I like taking 5 that much. Yeah, probably just block here. Yeah, we're over the VIP limit, unfortunately. The club is full. Yeah. You know, I think I actually like just going second Teferi, bounce this token. I guess I don't want to draw my basic plane, so I'll just go ahead and get it now. They do get to flip the reflection. We're not dead to a top deck Riddler this turn. I might copy the reflection with Mockingbird. We'll see. They just main phase of Solitude and they can copy. I guess we can Lochmare tap the reflection to stop it for a turn. Alternatively, we can just Mockingbird Solitude potentially. Seems like Mockingbird Solitude is going to be the move. And then cast a Loch Mare. I would maybe normally be a little bit hesitant to lose value on Loch Mare, but my hand is Loch Mare 2, 3, and 4, so it seems fine. Yeah, that's a good question. How much mana do you have to spend to copy Reflection? I would think it would be 3. It should be 3. The mana value in the front and the back is usually the same. So I presume that they don't attack with the Solitude because they are interested in being able to top deck. They're interested in being able to top deck Ephemerate. I'm just going to attack with both here since I could just remove 2 counters. They don't have a good block. I can play a big Wan. I could do it all here. So up to 7 life, feeling a bit more comfortable. I think I'm actually gonna not get this greedy. I want to be able to tap something with a Lochmare. Did you consider Storm Drake and Saving Grasp? Drake with Vial is nasty. I mostly think Drake is bad. It does have a good bit of synergy in this deck, though. Maybe Storm Drake's somehow gotten better. Saving Grasp is a pretty interesting one in general, too. So yeah, could be something. So if they attack, I'm going to Vial and another Lochmare, remove 2 counters from it. They got 1 card in their hand. Let's just leave the other Vial on 2, or this Vial on 2 for now. I think I want to just grow these main phase. Although, actually, I should be sacking Ranger-Captain. Sorry, I should have ticked that by. Obviously, I was going to sack Ranger-Captain here. Although this should be pretty close to a hard lock. I sack the Ranger-Captain and then I can Subtlety any creature they play. I've got Teferi in play as well. Lochmare's been good. Lochmare's been much better than I thought. I know it's kind of late to be testing a card like Lochmare, which is like kind of a generic good card, right? But it's been testing well. Much better than I expected it to. It just took me until last night to finally cast the dang thing. And then like outgrinding I've beaten out Jeskai Blink. I'm 1-1 against Dimir Flash. I've beaten Esper Blink 1-0. I've beaten the Moon Shadow deck, and we played like a lot. We beat Control today, like a blue white Control. And the fact that you were winning these matchups is really important. Let's do another one. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I think and then also the Mirror Flash deck's going to take longer, so let's just do. We're going to lock in updated Dimir Flash Snapcaster over Bowmaster tomorrow for the challenge.